Hello, back in Canada. Still cold, what the heck? What did we do with our old house? We were a little bit stressed out. She was just having a lot of big feelings. I mean, if you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. Should I say we're back? This is like where I started my YouTube channel.
Welcome back to my channel. My name is Nikki. I hope you guys are doing awesome.
In today's video, we're going to be talking about my life, what's been happening, what's in the future, and how it's just kind of feeling a little lately. But I'm going to explain everything. I've been getting a lot of questions about where are we, what's happened to our house, what's going on, why did you go to Florida, why did you leave Florida, all the things. So I'm just going to be doing a life update video, catching you guys up, and just sharing it all, spilling the tea. Do they still say spilling the tea, Chloe? They do. I should have some tea. So I'm just gonna get right into it. If you aren't already subscribed, make sure you hit that button down below. I post here every single week. I got mommy videos, health and wellness videos, vlogs, family things, all the things. So make sure you are tuned in so you don't miss out on a future video. There's so many things that I even wrote myself some notes so that I wouldn't just like get off track and I would talk about all the things I want to talk about. So let's just talk about the fact that, hello, back in Canada, it's still cold. What the heck? It actually snowed the other day. It didn't like stick, but it snowed. You know, in some ways it feels really nice to be back, and in other ways it feels a little bit weird because our life is very different than when we left Canada to go to Florida for the winter. So we are kind of just using this time to catch up on things, get our life situated and sorted. But we are in this like weird limbo phase right now. But you know, I'm just grateful that we have a place to stay right now, and we are working on, you know, getting things a little bit more normal, as per se. I've gotten a lot of questions on why we went to Florida in the first place. Going to Florida for the winter has actually been something that we've always wanted to do, and we just so happened to be able to do it last year. When we left back in November, it was kind of a last minute decision that we're finally like, that's it, we're doing it, we're going before the snow comes. And because of that, we didn't have too much pre-booked. We basically, you know, decided on it pretty last minute and then packed up our bags, booked a few Airbnbs, and then we left. Now we also left, so mainly for lifestyle purposes, we also left for work. We were there for investment opportunities. You know, if you follow my other half's channel, Matthew Varga, he has a channel on real estate, investing, working outside of the 9-to-5, and just creating financial freedom. You can check out his channel. I'll link it down below. So he talks more about that stuff there, like the finances and the investing side of our life. But that's been something that we've been wanting to do for a while too, is like actually get Airbnb properties down south, get our own property to visit during the winter. But when we left last year, we didn't own a property in Florida. So we had to do the Airbnb route. And everybody had the same idea to go to Florida. Not only were prices really high, but there just wasn't a lot of availability to just stay in one place for the entire time. We also didn't know how long we were going to be there. I didn't know how long I was going to feel comfortable being away from friends and family, especially with Sage. And there was just a lot of unknowns. So we kind of left there with not much of a plan and a timeline. So because of that, we didn't book like 4 months at one place. We booked a month here, a month there. We also wanted to see the state. I'd only been to Florida 2 times. Matt had been a couple more, but outside of Orlando, I hadn't really seen much of Florida. So we wanted to like stay in different areas, stay on the East Coast, stay on the West Coast, down south, the northern area, and really see what areas we loved and where potentially we would want to invest and buy something for a winter home for our family. And the other thing too, there were a lot of restrictions still and things closed, especially when it came to kids' activities. And that was something that was really important for me as a new mom, and also just for Sage, for her to be able to experience these things. So it was a lifestyle choice. It was a family decision for us to go down south. I know not everyone agrees with it, and that's totally okay. But this is the choice that we did for us, and I'm grateful we were able to do it. It wasn't like a full-on vacation, obviously. We were both still working, taking care of Sage full time. So, you know, as much as we were enjoying lots of time in the sun, there was a lot of work behind the scenes as well. It was just really nice to kind of skip the winter months and just spend it on the beach in this Florida sunshine. And we're so grateful that we were able to do that. Are we moving to Florida? I think a lot of people thought we were gonna stay there and never come back to Canada. And you know, at times I thought it's so beautiful here. We're just gonna stay and enjoy this hot weather. But you know, Canada does still feel like home, and our friends and family are here. And in the best scenario, we would be doing like, you know, some months in Florida and then some months in Canada and kind of split our time. We love to travel and we want Sage to experience different places. And since, you know, our businesses are online, you know, we do have the flexibility to really work wherever we want, which is obviously an amazing place to be in. And, you know, sometimes I think we forget that we could, you know, work in another country or another state. So, you know, we're just trying to keep our options open. Sage is still little right now, so we have the flexibility to do that until she's like in school and we have to be a little bit more stationed where she is. Other things that were on our bucket list was just being able to have a family trip down south. And it was really lovely. We had, you know, my family come down for 10 days. I vlogged that entire week, and it was just something that we want to have become like a yearly tradition. And, you know, maybe after Christmas, everyone comes down to Florida, soaks up some sunshine to kind of reset before the winter is officially over. And that was just really special. It was just cool to have my nieces and nephew down there on their first trip. So I just hope to be able to continue those new family travel traditions. Now, the big question everyone's asking, what do we do with our old house? Now, I miss it. I do. Our old house, sadly, I don't want to say sadly, it was always the plan. It is currently rented out to a really wonderful family. And actually it's kind of crazy. I don't know if like she watches my channel or not, but I know that the couple stumbled upon my birth vlog, and they were about to have their baby boy, and I guess they had watched my birth vlog, seen the house, and then when they came to visit the house to, you know, potentially rent it, they recognized it and then realized it was the house from that video, that the birth vlog that they watched. So I think it's a very, you know, one of those meant to be moments. I think the house is perfect for them, and I know it's being well enjoyed and loved, and you know, I miss it. It's the house that I almost had Sage in and you know, we raised Sage there, we had Cashew there, and it's just a lot of memories. And it's still like, we still own it, we're just renting it out. And you know, that was always the plan. We knew we wanted to, you know, move into something with more space. You know, there wasn't really a lot of space, say, for like working from home, if we want to grow our family, if we just want to have a little bit more separation in the house. We're all just on one floor all the time. And it's a beautiful home, but we just, there are things that it wasn't providing that we wanted in another house. So while we were in Florida, it just, as soon as we knew we were going to be there for a little bit longer than a month, we knew, okay, you know, we kind of want to look for a different house anyways. So why don't we rent this out so we're not paying for a house in Canada and Airbnbs down south, which Florida right now is very expensive, so things were adding up quickly, so we decided to rent out the upstairs of our house. The downstairs is being used for storage still, but we are planning to rent that basement out as well. But yeah, it's a little bittersweet because we basically came back home and our house is no longer ours, and we are currently staying at my parents'. So I feel like I'm back in like early college days right now, hanging out at my mom's. But we are here for a few weeks while we transition to our next place, which I thought I was going to be able to update you guys about that in this video, but it is still up in the air. There are two options. We either move into one of our rental properties that we're planning on turning into an Airbnb. So we might just live there for a little bit, or if we get accepted for this new house, we will be moving in later this week, which sounds kind of crazy. So I keep bugging Matt and he's like, if you ask me one more time, if the realtor has wrote me back, I'm like the kids in the car. It's like, are we there yet? Are we there yet? But I just want to know, like, I already am like planning out the rooms and stuff. It's a beautiful home, tons of light, you know, space in the backyard. It's really cute. So if we're able to move in there, we should find out today. So probably after I'm doing this life update video. So you'll find out in another video what's going on. I'll do like an empty house tour and stuff. But yeah, there's just like a lot of, we're in this like weird limbo stage because we don't have a house, but we do, like, even the rental house that we are moving into, we just had tenants move out of there because they just bought a new house. So we have to do some renos to it and stuff before we even Airbnb it. So we can't even move into it right away because there's renos happening. I'm grateful that we have a place to stay, and you know, my mom has been so welcoming and just like, stay as long as you want. But at the end of the day, you know, it's just kind of getting cramped in here. My stuff's all over the place. Like some of it's like at our old house, some of it's in the basement in storage. And it just feels like out of sorts. And it's just been like, and then obviously like just taking care of Sage when all of our stuff is all over the place all the time is just like a lot. On the plus side, Sage is, I mean, she was living her best life in Florida, but being back and being with her cousins, they're here all the time. Like my parents' house is like the house where everyone just is like at all the time. So it's really nice because I'm just like surrounded by family all the time, which I feel like I was missing out on the last few months. And I mean, Chloe was there behind the camera, but it's just been really nice to be surrounded by family, and Sage is loving it. She has already settled in so well. She's sleeping good, on a good nap schedule. Something switched when we got here. She just started really calming down and being so much happier, because the last 2 weeks before we got here, you probably saw it in my road trip vlog, we were a little bit stressed out. She was just having a lot of big feelings. I think she was teething, going through a bit of a sleep regression. Also, like she was experiencing traveling too, right? Like we were going from like place to place to place when we were driving back home. So that was a lot for her too. And you know, sometimes you forget that kids experience the same things you do, just in different ways. So I feel like now we're just looking to find this kind of balance with life, with work, with parenting. You know, there's things that I want to do personally. Like I got my hair appointment booked next week. I want to get chopped. Just like feel like I can spend time on me again, get my nails done, get my brows done. Those things where they seem, you know, superficial, they make a big difference for some people. And I know for me, when I just like don't do like those small things for myself, I start to just feel like not myself anymore. So, you know, I want to sign up at a gym again. I want to, you know, have hobbies, see friends that, you know, are over the age of 2 and just, you know, think about me again, really. And I think it's so easy to lose yourself when you become a new mom. And you know, I've been wanting to film an update video just on parenting after the 1 year mark, and like also Matt's perspective as well. We're just trying to find a rhythm on how we balance everything in this new life. When you become a new parent, there's just everything changes. And I think trying to find a new rhythm and balance in your life, you know, takes time. And because we've been traveling a lot, I feel like we are kind of playing catch up on that a little bit. The first year, you're just kind of like surviving and like figuring things out. And then afterwards, you're kind of just, you know, this is your new reality. And we're just, you know, creating a new life now with Sage. And, you know, we would like to eventually grow our family even more. So just trying to figure out what that looks like. We're just both feeling a little burnt out and like we've lost ourselves a little bit. So I feel like the next few months is really just finding ourselves again. So, I mean, if you know, you know, if you don't, you don't. But you know, what's happening next, we're working on growing HealthNut. We have lots of plans for Beauty Nut skincare, which I know I've been a little bit quiet on. We're looking for a shop manager to help run the HealthNut shop and just kind of bring that back up to speed. I'm working on the next edition of the Baby HealthNut cookbook, which if you have not picked up a copy yet, this is what it looks like. It contains all of the delicious homemade recipes that I made for Sage during that first year of eating. And these are recipes that would also work into toddler years and back to school and stuff like that. My mom keeps snacking on Sage's food when I'm meal prepping, and it's really funny. She's like, oh, Sage eats good. So I'm working on the second edition, which I hope will come out this fall. But, you know, lots in the works, and we're just, you know, trying to navigate it all. But I just wanted to give you guys a bit of an update on, you know, what's going on, where we're at. These life update videos sometimes feel a little bit weird because I'm like, I don't even know where I'm at right now. We're just trying to figure things out. But I know so many of you guys have been following our journey for so long that I know I don't have to do these life update videos. But I appreciate when other people do them. When I follow people for a long time, it just gives me some like, okay, like context of what's happening in their life. And I just want you guys to just kind of be in the know what's going on, and I will let you guys know where we're going to be living in the future. Hopefully I find out today. But that's basically it. If you guys have any other questions, I'm usually an open book. There's some things that I don't talk about because I feel like it stirs the pot too much. But I really am an open book. If you have any questions or you want some tips and stuff, or, you know, maybe you want to do a trip to Florida or travel with your family, I'm always sharing blog posts on, you know, I did a recent one on how to do a road trip with a toddler, how to just travel tips in general with like a 6-month-old, a 1-year-old. I try to share my journey to hopefully help other families as we navigate it ourselves. So, I don't necessarily recommend doing a road trip with a 1.5-year-old, but if you got to do it, I got the tips for you. I think we're going to stay put for a little bit. I think I'm traveled out for a bit. So that's what's happening. That's where we're at. And I just want to say thank you so much for, all the continued support, those who have followed us for a very long time or just finding our channel now. Maybe you're a new mom and you found my birth vlog and now you are binge watching all my mommy vlogs. I was there. That's how I found a lot of moms online myself. So thank you so much for following along and supporting. If you aren't already subscribed, make sure you do so down below. I post here every single week. And I hope that clears up a little bit on what's going on in our life. But I will see you guys in my next video. Have a fabulous day, and I love you all very, very much. Bye, guys.